Hi, everyone. Teresa Lisum here for this week's Decoding Your Superpowers. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am on my own today. Linda has some other events she had to attend, so you get me today. So I love talking about people's strengths, their superpowers, as I like to call them. Once I have that result of the Gallup Strengths Assessment in my hand, it's so powerful because I can see your your potentialities, your top 10, your zone of genius, how you think, how you operate, why you do the things you do, what's important to you. And for you to get that information is so empowering. It allows everyone to see themselves from a higher perspective and from the perspective of things that you're good at, not your weaknesses, which as a society we tend to focus on. So, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to dig into two reports today, and I actually want to do a side by side comparison. We did that last month with a set of twins, which was very interesting. They were twins, but yet their reports were different. So it was showing that they had different things that were important to them and their own unique way of showing up in the world, even though they were twins, which was really cool. So the Gallup Strengths Assessment might appear as the Clifton Strengths Finders, the Clifton Strengths Assessment. There's slightly variations in the name, but you will find the assessment on the Gallup website. It was started by Don Clifton, so that's his name, Clifton Strengths Report. He originated it, and then I don't know if Gallup purchased it or what, but now it's under the Gallup heading. You purchase a code, basically, is what you're doing. You're purchasing a code that you input to take the assessment. It's not as hard as it sounds, but they're going to offer you two options. An option where you pay a little bit less and you only get your top five strengths shown to you, or you pay $60 thereabouts and you get all 34 opened up. I highly recommend you do the 34 and pay the upfront cost early, because if you decide to go back later, if you only purchase the five and you go back later to unlock and open up the rest of them, it's actually going to come out a little bit more pricey. So in the long run, it's just cheaper to pay the $60 up front, open them all up, and then connect with me and allow me the privilege of looking over your strengths report, decoding your superpowers so that you can feel really empowered and see your value and learn to lean into your strengths and really leverage them to uplevel you to the next best version of yourself. It's empowered so many people that I personally know. It's transformed many, many lives that I personally know. And so I can't recommend it enough. And for that reason, I became a coach through Eddie Villa, who is my mentor. He was trained by Gallup, and then he expanded and learned a lot more about strengths and how they show up in people on his own. And then he trained a whole lot of us to go out in the world and help others unlock their superpowers. So I'm privileged to be part of that group to help others understand themselves, which in turn helps you understand others and helps you articulate to others why you do what you do. So it's a win-win for everybody. So I think that's all I wanted to say about the assessment. If you have any questions about it, you can reach out to me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen as soon as I can find that button. There it is. And we are going to look at two reports today. I know Linda continued the where we were talking about the domains, and we'll come back to that. But I wanted to take a look at these for a specific reason today. So we have two reports of two business partners. They're friends and business partners. And I wanted to show you the overlap and the differences between these two people, these two individuals. And they complement each other. So it's really fabulous to know the strengths of people within a group, within a unit, within a family, because you can see why there's an issue here and see where there's overlap here and how you think similarly on these topics because of these strengths, and you diverge from one end to the other end of the spectrum, and you might butt heads because of your different strengths. So it's really cool to see them together of a group of people. So that's why I think this is interesting to look at these today. So we're going to focus on the top 10. That is our zone of genius. Oops, I don't know why that did that. There it is. Um, there are 34. We all have a different mix of these 34, but there is nobody else on the planet with your 34 in your order. Literally, if you go back and look at previous episodes, we did the math, and there is no way any two people on this planet or ever will be sharing the exact same lineup of these strengths or these superpowers. So they're similar. I know a lot of people that have a few similarities to mine, but they're still interacting in their own unique way for each unique person. The last four or five, those are not weaknesses, but they are just strengths that don't serve us in any way. We don't need to look at them other than to just let go and realize, oh, don't have to worry about that. Like I have context really low, like this person does. And I don't have to worry about what happened in the past, which is good for me to remember because sometimes I do hang on to the past. But knowing that I don't need to because it's not serving me in any way is a good reminder to just let it go and focus on the here and now or the future. So both of these people have context low. So past events, past decisions don't really color what they're doing now in the present moment. So it's good to sometimes just look at those bottom five just so you can get a sense of relief and know that you don't have to worry about those. But our focus is these top 10. That is our zone of genius. Anything in the middle is just like, there's really just a neutrality there. There's no energy going on at all. So I don't even really look at mine typically. The top 10 are where you're the highest energy, the most productive, the most creative, your most efficient, your most authentic self. Anything in the middle, you can do with those top 10. Okay, so any of these here, you can substitute for your top 10 or a combination of. So even though I might talk about strengths as individual characteristics or individual powers, in reality, they actually all kind of weave together and partner together in a most beautiful way. So they're all influencing and interacting with each other. So let's take a look at these. If you've been watching along in our episodes, you will know that we place the top 10 in these categories. There's 4 categories or domains that all of the strengths fit into. That's why they're color coded. So I literally just count up and put these top 10 strengths into these 4 domains. And that kind of determines an overall picture of what this person's like and how they show up in the world and how they start everything. So this person here on the left, they have 4 influencing strengths in their top 10. So an influencer is a person who likes to take charge, isn't afraid to speak up, loves to move people from point A to point C, and knows all the steps in between to get them there. They like to move groups forward. So this person has 4 influencing. So this ability and desire to move people forward is pretty important to this person. This person on the right has 5 relationship building strengths, as you can see by the 5 blue colors. So this person is really, it's really, really energizing and important for this person to make connections. Okay, deep connections. Maybe with a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but it's vital that this person spends time interacting with people, collaborating with people, brainstorming with people, being within groups to really be at their best. This person, it's not all that important to them. They do have 3 relationship building strengths. So connecting with others is still important to this person on the left, but the person on the right, it's really, really important to them. So that's a good thing to know about yourself. If you know that you need people, then you find ways to be around people, whether it's just going to a store or, communicating and interacting and working with a group of people that you like being around. And you learn ways to make that happen if you're going to be your most authentic self. Both of these people share high strategic thinking. So this person, they have 4 strategic thinking strengths. This person has 3. So both of these people like to spend time thinking. They're in their head. They need their thinking time. So they might need to balance their people time with their thinking time so they can process and visualize things coming up in the future. So it's very important for them to read and listen to positive, inputs like podcasts or audios, books or whatever. So it's important for them to stimulate their mind, their brain, because they enjoy that. That's what energizes them. So they both share that commonality. But again, this one's an influencer on the left, and this one on the right is a relationship builder with one influencing strength. So this person on the right, it's not that important to them to move groups of people forward. The person on the left, it's very important to them. So if they're working in a partnership, this person on the left will take the lead probably of moving groups of people forward. And then this person on the right might be all about making connections and developing relationships with those people in the group that this person is leading forward, moving forward. So this is a really nice interaction, and they both enjoy thinking and brainstorming and creating. So that's a good thing to have in common. A couple other things I wanted to point out that they have in common. They both have positivity high. This person, it's really, really important to them. It's very high energy for them to be positive and maintain that positive attitude. This person, they're positive, but not quite as much as this one. So they both like to be uplifting and inspiring and making sure that others are uplifted as well. They can see the positive side of anything. They both have connectedness at number 2 in the same position, but it's still going to play out differently based on those strengths, those superpowers that are around that connectedness. So connectedness is all about knowing, believing, understanding that everything happens for you. Everything happens in the right timing. You're connected to the right people for a reason. Like there are no happen chances. Everything happens for a reason, and they're able to connect the dots maybe after the fact. And like, oh, did you see what happened here? Did you see what happened here? This happened, and that led to this positive result. Not everybody can see those connections. So connectedness is a really good commonality these 2 people have that they could leverage in their partnership. They both have woo. which is winning others over. It's actually an acronym. So this person's a little bit lower, so it's not as energizing as this person. This person is all about um, interacting with others, meeting new people, breaking the ice with new people. They might be the person at the party who's over there with a whole bunch of people around them and they're talking and they're animated and sharing stories and everybody's enthralled by them. So this person is really highly energized by doing that. This person might not be so animated or so engaging in a group as this person might be. But it's good that they both share that commonality. That means they're going to be able to really connect with people and bring them into their project or bring them into their program, whatever they happen to be working on, bring them into their business. Let's see, what else do they have? They have input in common. So input is a little higher on the person on the right. It's the most highest, the most energizing for this person. And this person on the left, it's a little bit lower. So it's not quite as energizing, but they both love information and resources and learning and bringing in all of these ways of looking and thinking about things. So they love thinking. So that's a great attribute that they share. It's not like one loves to gather information and one does not. One doesn't even like information. So it's good that they both share that common strength, and that's going to serve them well in their business ventures. Communication. The big difference to me is this communication sitting here on this person on the left, this activator, this strategic, and this self-assurance. So this person on the left loves to get things started. They'll ignite a fire under people to get the momentum going and get them moving in a direction. Probably that group of people that they love to move forward. So they're very much a doer. Let's do, let's take action, and we'll figure it out along the way. This person doesn't even have that close. It's actually way down in the middle here. So it's just in the neutral zone, and this person is not a good starter, whereas this person is. So even though this person on the right doesn't have it high, this person on the left can be depended on and serve as the igniter or the spark to get things going. So it's good to have a person with high activator in your group to really get the ball and the momentum moving. Strategic, the person on the left can really see patterns, and I just learned some good information about strategic just yesterday. There's always a path, there's always a way. Even if there's some dead ends, a person of high strategic can keep going and trying different ways, different workarounds to get to their end results. And they provide a lot of hope. They're very hopeful. So they know they're going to get to that end result and they're going to find a way. So that's a good person to be partnering with. Somebody who's going to take action, find a way to get to the result, even if it takes multiple tries or multiple paths to get there. So a great person to have on any team. A self-assurance, I want to talk about that one. This person on the left has it at number 10. This person on the right, it's down in the middle, which means it's neutral. There's really no energy around it whatsoever. That does not mean this person on the right does not feel self-assured and confident. It's just it's not as important to them as it is to this person. So a person of high self-assurance just has that inner compass inside of themselves that they intuitively know and believe and trust. Like, no, this is the way to do it. I just know. So a person of high self-assurance is another really good person to have on your team because they're going to guide you according to their gut and their feeling and their intuition. Okay, good relationship here. They have some strengths, superpowers that overlap, some that are different. Let's talk about this person on the right. This person is a really good cheerleader and encourager. So let's say this person on the left kind of slips a little bit and gets in a place of being stuck and not, well, I doubt that this person wouldn't know where to go because I just said they would find a way. But this person on the right is going to be a really good cheerleader. And yeah, we could do it. And let's keep going and look at what you did here to improve. And so this person is more of the cheerleader. Rah, rah, let's go. Intellection. Where is intellection over here? So she has, this person on the left has intellection in the middle. It's not that important to her. This person on the right, thinking deeply about things is vitally important to this person on the right. So this person on the left might go take action. Let's see where this goes. We're going to try it. We're going to figure it out. And then this person on the right might be like, yeah, but let's think about this. Let's take a few minutes to figure this out and let's look at our resources and let's read and let's do some planning. So this might be a nice balance between the two. One person's go, go, go without thinking much, and the other person is like, oh no, let's spend a little bit of time just thinking about this particular piece of this project or this business. Learner, where is learner? I see learner here at number 7. So this person loves to learn, kind of partners well with input. It's input is gathering that information for future reference, and learner is just learning, loving to learn and figuring out, you know, how to, what to, where to, because this person is constantly learning. Now, the person on the left is kind of in the middle. It's not that important to them. Not that they don't want to learn. It's just not as important as this person on the right who is in a constant learning mode. They probably can't shut off that learner. It's probably going, going, going all the time. They both have futuristic, which I find totally cool and fascinating. Futuristic, all about holding the vision of the future and moving towards a positive future. And it's great that they both have it because as they work together in partnership, they're moving towards a positive future and they can see that future. So I think that's a beautiful partnership there between these two people. And then they both have includer, another good strength to have in common. They want everybody to come to the party. So their business, their project, their program, they want to include a lot of people. They want to serve a lot of people. They want to help a lot of people. So that's a good thing to have in business, to be on the same page as. So these two people have several common strengths that they can use together in partnership, and they have several strengths that are not the same, and they fall in different places in the reports, so they can hold their end, whereas the other person is holding another strength for one of their tools. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to look at a partnership, a family, a peer group, a small business of office workers working together, and just see where everybody falls. And it gives you a better understanding of why this person thinks like they do. Like this person on the right, when they know that this person on the left has high activator, they understand like, oh, that's why she's ready to go and I'm not, because that's her activator talking. It's trying to get her to go, go, go. Whereas this person on the right needs to learn and think and get more resources before they're ready to move. But instead of getting annoyed and irritated, there's an understanding because you understand both of each other's strengths. So this person, this activator person, can remember, like, oh, that's right. My friend, my business partner needs to go a little slower than I do. So that understanding can help with misunderstanding. And I said, any aggravation with each other. If you look at their strengths and get that clearer picture of, oh, that's why I feel a little aggravated, because they're just using and leveraging their strengths. And how can I get mad at that? So that's why I love the strengths, is just for that communication between two people and that understanding of, oh, that's why you're showing up as you are, because this strength is playing out. These two strengths are working together here. And I can see that, I understand that. And it's not to make me mad. It's not to piss me off, I shall say. It's just because you're just doing what comes naturally and easily to you. So that can go a long ways in helping people interact in a more positive and heart-centered way. So that's all I'm going to share with you today. There's a lot more I could get into, but I wanted to really compare those two. If you have two that you would like me to compare, or even one you'd like me and Linda to look at, please get them over to us. Connect with us. This is your opportunity to get some free coaching within this half hour and just get some new insights and some new perspectives on yourself that you may not have had. Sometimes it's good to really get an outside person to see who you are, because you're not seeing it, because you're caught up in some story or a set of stories that is not allowing you to see your value and see your worth and to see how beautiful you are. So it's good to have another person shine that light on you and shine that light on your superpowers. If you have an old report that you want to pull out, go into the Gallup website. If you can't remember your password, create a new one. You know how that goes if you forgot your password, and get that report. All I need is that front page of your 34 report where it's all listed out 1 through 34. Take a picture, send it over to me or Linda. We would love to highlight and spotlight it here. If you want coaching individually, privately, we can do that too, because that's what we love to do. You can leverage these strengths, these superpowers in every area of your life, your health, your relationships, your business, your income. So many ways of using these strengths. They are powerful. All right. That's it for me today, my friends. This is Teresa Lisum signing off. Watch for us next week. Again, send us your reports. You can even jump on here live so you can give us real-time feedback. All right, my friends, you get out there and use your superpowers today. Bye-bye.